All right, let's talk about one of the wildest stories on the market right now, SanDisk Corporation. You've probably seen the headlines, but today we're going to get into exactly what happened, that perfect storm that sent this stock just into the stratosphere. So how in the world does a company's stock just explode over 600% in like a year? I mean, this isn't some tiny startup. This is a major player in the S&P 500. So what happened? It's definitely not an accident, and we're going to break it down. And get this, if you think that 600% was the whole story, it's not. The momentum has been just insane. We're talking a 105% gain in just the first month of 2026 alone. That's not a slow burn, that's a rocket launch.
Okay, so let's break this down. First up, we're going to look at SanDisk's staggering rise. We'll unpack the numbers and see how it went from being just a piece of a bigger company to a total standout.
And wow, this chart right here, it just says it all, doesn't it? You've got the 52-week low sitting down around 28 bucks, and then bam, a recent high of almost $510. That's just an absolutely incredible journey.
Okay, but to really get how that chart even happened, we got to go back in time a little. You see, the spark for this fire wasn't a new gadget. Nope, it was a huge corporate decision that basically changed the game.
So here's the quick history. Back in 2016, Western Digital buys SanDisk. Fast forward to 2025, and they decide to split up, spinning off the flash memory business. And that creates the independent SanDisk we're talking about today. And what happens next? Well, almost right away, the stock just takes off.
And you know, there was a really smart reason for this split. The idea was to let each company do what it does best. So Western Digital, they could double down on their classic hard disk drives. Meanwhile, SanDisk was set free to focus 100% on its specialty, that super-fast, high-performance NAND flash memory.
And that focus, man, the timing could not have been more perfect. Because right as SanDisk was stepping out on its own, a massive tech revolution was kicking into high gear. A revolution that was suddenly starving for exactly the kind of thing SanDisk makes. And what was that revolution? You guessed it. It all comes down to two little letters. AI. Artificial intelligence. That's it. The AI boom is the engine behind this entire incredible story.
So, why AI? Well, you've got to understand, AI is just unbelievably hungry for data. It needs massive, massive amounts of that high-performance flash memory to work its magic. We're talking about training those huge language models, running all the complex calculations. All of that happens in data centers powered by the kind of high-end enterprise SSDs that are SanDisk's bread and butter.
Yeah, it's not just a little bit of growth. As this quote says, the AI boom has created unprecedented demand for high-capacity, high-performance storage. Unprecedented. That's the key word here. We're talking about a whole new level of need. But wait, there's actually another huge piece to this puzzle. It's not just about the insane demand. At the same time, the whole industry has been struggling to make enough of the key components for flash memory. Now, this kind of thing happens sometimes in the memory market. It's famous for its booms and busts. But this time, that scarcity has given SanDisk some serious pricing power, which means much, much healthier profits.
All right, so we've got the story, right? The spin-off, the AI explosion, and a supply crunch. Now let's look at the hard numbers that prove this isn't just a good story, it's a financial reality. This is where you see it on the balance sheet.
First off, just look at the scale we're talking about here. The market has completely reevaluated what SanDisk is worth, slapping a nearly $69 billion market cap on it. That number tells you Wall Street believes SanDisk is absolutely central to the future of AI.
And here's how that translates to actual profit. Analysts are now projecting earnings per share of around $13.46 for the year. That is a massive, explosive jump in profitability. It's a direct result of that high demand and strong pricing we were just talking about.
So here it is, all laid out for you in one spot. You've got the stock price, that huge market cap, and the impressive earnings projection. But what this table really tells you is that this isn't just about what SanDisk has already done. The market is pricing in a future where SanDisk is a fundamental building block of the entire AI economy. I mean, just look at that gap between the 52-week low of $28 and the high of over $500. That's the story of Wall Street waking up to this new reality.
Okay, so let's pull back for a second. SanDisk's story is an amazing case study, for sure. But it's also telling us something way bigger about the massive shifts that are happening across the entire tech world right now.
So, what are the big takeaways here? Well, first, a really smart corporate move, the spin-off, unlocked all this focused growth. Second, that focus ran headfirst into the AI revolution, which is driving all the demand.
Third, it was just perfect timing combined with great technology. And finally, the financial results, they're now reflecting this whole new world.
And all of this leaves us with one last really big question to chew on, right? We see AI growing exponentially, but what does that really mean for the things it's built on, like storage? Is the demand for this stuff truly limitless? Or are we just at the very, very beginning of a completely new chapter?